Hi everyone, this is Lana Geit here at the Global Network of Healers. And today we're speaking to Andrew Lawless. He's a certified high performance coach from Austin, Texas, and he is doing online coaching with executives and business owners. And so here we are, just starting a little chat, just to kind of help everybody through this difficult time. Hi Andrew, welcome.
Hi Anna, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about where you are, because you're not in Austin, Texas.
I am right now on the west coast of Ireland, in a lovely city called Galway, which is the European capital of culture this year. But none of that is happening because we are in a different world, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I'm surrounded by sheep and cows and my in-laws.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like social isolation to a T, much more than here where I am in the city. You know, no pastures, no no sheep.
Yeah, and in many ways, I'm one of the lucky ones, right? Because I just read a statistic that only 37% of people in the US, that's my frame of reference, have the luxury to work from home.
Yes.
Right. So in addition to that, I've always been isolated, right? I've worked from home for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look out of that window, I can see the way to the horizon. There's not a house in between. Only, as I said, sheep and cow.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely. That shot of nature that we don't often get. My shot is houses and streets and cars. Not the same at all. Awesome. Oh, wow. So tell us a little bit about because you work with executives and business owners, what are the main struggles right now that are happening for them?
Well, so right now, again, the world has changed a few weeks ago, right? So right now it's really about three things. It's how do we cope? How do we lead, especially as business owners, as leaders in our communities? As small business owners, consultants, trainers, teachers, you name it.
Yeah.
How do we lead? And then how do we grow?
Got it.
Because we don't know how long this is going to take, right? So I've always said from the very beginning, it's going to be more than 2 weeks of isolation. Mm-hmm. And now we're definitely talking about end of April and schools are not opening for the rest of the school year and so on.
Yeah.
But eventually this will be over.
Yes.
And so this is right now the proving ground for all of us to prepare for the next phase, whenever and whatever this is going to be.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, who would have thought a pandemic would be something that we're dealing with? And, you know, there's no time to prepare. So it was kind of one of those very quick switch over. A lot of people have kids at home as well. So can you tell us some of the ways that you're helping executives deal with the fact that they're having to lead, having to grow, they're having to switch their businesses online and deal with their children at home?
Yes. Oh, that's a tall order. So
it is a tall order.
But the first thing I did is, like, when this started, I went into mother mode, right? So like everybody who's currently under my care, paying clients and even clients that had their last sessions or they were at the end of a program, said, it doesn't matter, I surround you and I give you all the extra support that I can give because now it's the time we need to stick together, right?
That's right.
So there's kind of like, how do we cope together? So the first thing is surround yourself with positive people, right? So right now I'm cutting everybody off who's negative. Yeah. I joked yesterday in a Facebook Live where we talked about it. There's an app called Trump fatigue, right? So I don't want to hear anything anymore about how people hate him, how he love them, how they love them, or and how he's like God, and then all the stress in between. I just want to be around people that help me cope.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why we have a mastermind together. So that's fine. Surround yourself with the right people. Yeah. Call the funniest friends that you have, right? So do we have this kind of friend that they're making the corniest jokes, And, you know, it's so not funny that it's funny. And then they laugh and the snot comes out of their nose because so, that's the people you
Right?
want, right?
Yeah. And then you're laughing, and then all of a sudden, and I don't know if you've heard, there's such a thing as laughing yoga. So you
Yes.
can get a laughing yoga on Zoom with this friend of yours and bring in other people, and here you are laughing. All of
That's how we met. I actively search for people right now, right?
Yeah.
That have the same mindset, lift me up, inspire me, right?
Yeah.
So it's huge,
Yeah.
right? So that's one.
Yeah.
Find the right people. I have people that yesterday I had a Facebook Live with my friend Paul, who was a resilience coach.
Yeah.
And I have talked to him more in the last 3 weeks than in the last 3 years combined, right? Because
Nice.
that's what we need to do.
Yes.
Coping.
Okay. Coping,
Second,
surrounding with community, positive community.
exactly, right?
Okay.
Second, take care of yourself.
Okay.
Right. So it's so easy right now to be stressed. You get all the news. You know, it's most of that is not positive right now. News are never positive, but now it's like extra not positive, right? So you cannot escape it. We need to face reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we also, so it's so easy now to say, okay, I got to churn, I got to do this, I got to do that, and you know, how do I keep my business alive, and you know, how do I pivot, and how do I reposition myself, and all of that.
Yeah.
And all you do is you stress out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's too much. You're right. Yeah.
And I made this mistake in the beginning when I was in mother mode. I worked like 14 hours every day, Saturday, Sunday, on like taking care of my clients, my friends, my family, my neighbors, everybody that I could find. And I just took myself second. I gained weight. Now, and at one point, it was like last week, I just imploded, you know, and I needed a few days to relax. So this regularly, like waking up in the morning, stretch first, do some yoga, right? Some meditation or qigong, or just stretch yourself, wake your body up before you read the news, before you look at your Facebook feeds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I do that for 20 minutes. I read something inspiring, and then for 20 minutes I plan my day. Because right now it's really important, like in these times where everything is so uncertain. The more structure we build, the less unsafe the world feels. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Control what you can control. And that's it. It's your world at home right now, your work, your personal life. Absolutely. That makes so much sense. Very good tip.
And with regard to control, the other piece of advice I gave my core piece of advice was take care of the risks, right? So I read an article yesterday that the small business loans, they have already hit the ceiling, so they're not accepting applications anymore. I mean, how can you have waited 3 weeks or 2 weeks for the application?
Yeah, you would have known. Yeah,
do it right away.
Yeah.
Face it right away. Other things that you can do: call your credit card companies. Now, before, like if you remotely in danger to not being able to pay, right? Call them and say, no, I want to reduce can you reduce my interest rate? A lot of them will do that.
Right? Oh, wow. Good tip. Yeah, that's a good tip. I'm glad you're talking about this, because so far none of our coaches have talked about the financial aspect or business owners. Yeah.
You got to do this right now, right? Call them. Before you miss a payment, call them. Say, you know, a hard time, can reduce my interest rate. A lot of them will do that because they rather have you pay at lower interest than not pay at all.
Yes.
Second, you can do is, like, if it's very, very hard and you've already near maxed out on a credit card, ask for a stay in payment, right? For about 6 months. You will not be able to use your credit card for 6 months. But because of hardship, many of them have that program, right? So call them, do that, right? Look at your clients, like which of my clients may get into default and take care of that. Even risk that is not there, but that can become one, and do something about it right now.
Yeah. It's a very good tip. Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the other things too that can come along with this is look ahead, look 6 months ahead, try to project in your business where you're going to be, how much money you're going to be, what's going to be coming in, what are your expenses, and then be proactive rather than just like you said, wait 3 weeks and go, oh my goodness, now I'm in trouble. So
and I applied for the business loan, right? I am in a good position right now that I don't need it.
Yeah.
But just in case.
Yeah. You're protecting your business. Exactly.
If I never touch it, it's going to go back.
Yeah.
If I need it, I have it, right?
Yeah.
So, and most people, right? So there are two kind of people right now when it comes to coping. Those that withdraw and contract.
Yeah.
And they go into me mode and say, no, we're not going to spend. We're not going to, like business owners that fire their people, that reduce their salaries, right? That, charge their clients more, try to get more money, and me.
Yeah.
And they contract. Yeah. And then you have those that see this time as an opportunity to rise. Not right now, but later on. Rise, prepare, educate themselves, and so on.
That's right.
And what happens here is we've seen this in the 2008, 2009, right? So the energy of the world went like so, right? And so did the energy of the people, most people.
That's right.
And then eventually
rebounded up, yeah.
Right. But what happened is very interesting. Watch this, right? So it goes down, and everybody else's energy went down, and then the energy of the world get up, and the people that were on that downward slope,
they kept sliding.
And then they took away their ability to rise higher and faster than they could. So the people that kept their mindset up, they also dropped down a little, but as the went up, they rose higher and faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I have a chart, cannot show that today, where I actually showed that based on financial data, how that works. So if you want to cope, keep your mindset up, find the right people, meditate, look inside of yourself and do something to move forward. So that's the coping part of it.
Yes. So basically don't be an individual that's going to contract and withdraw. That isn't going to help you in the short term or the long term because of that curve that you were talking about. Your rebounding coming up will be faster if you do something right now and be proactive. And like you said, sometimes it's the small steps. You get up in the morning, like you said, wonderful thing that you do in the routine, do a little stretch, wake yourself up, mind and body, help your mind and body connect. Take 20 minutes, reflect on what you want to do in the day and make sure it's a productive day. So these are small steps that you're doing every single day that actually ensure that you're not dipping far into that, the abyss, let's call it the abyss that goes nowhere.
And I always chipper and energized. No, I have my moments too, right?
Of course. So, yeah, we all do. We're human.
But I don't stay there, right?
Yeah.
And so the other thing that you want to do is have a structure.
Yeah.
I know, I did this today again for just the next week. So I know exactly every day of next week what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Right. At a minimum.
Yeah.
And I know when I want to wake up, when I take my walks, and what I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
And the more structure you have, the better.
Yeah.
And by the way, you talked about kids, right? I talked to one of my clients the other day, and I said, and so she was sitting there, and she was very difficult for her to get motivated, right? And her kids were jumping around, and said, so, and she said, you know what? It's so hard to really get motivated and structured and so on. So, okay, so what about your kids? Oh, they do this and that. And I asked her, I said, why do they not have a schedule yet?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Excellent question.
If you don't have a schedule for yourself, how do you expect your children to follow one? Right? Yeah. And she's like, it's so hard for me, and I cannot say, but you're not doing this for yourself. You do this for your children. That's where the coping part of how to deal with the situation right now goes into the leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. And by helping your children, you're actually helping yourself down the line.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
now it's a well-oiled machine. So now it's, the
Yeah.
family unit's going, and you have time for yourself to actually focus on work and
Yes.
expansion rather than contraction. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tricky. And I love the key piece that you said. Humor is a really, really important way so that you're not contracting. It's a way to expand. Also
Yes.
bringing yourself and surrounding yourself with people that are positive, who will lift you up. So
Yes.
those are two key pieces, I think, that you said so far that really ramp up that ability to be able to like take it to the next level. Your mood, bringing your mood up, bringing your motivation, which is, I mean, that's what we're struggling with in business right now. Motivation, kind of uncertainty, anxiety, right? All ways to lift yourself up. So
And that's why I'm so happy that I met you, right? So, and by the way, for everybody who's listening, that didn't happen by accident, because both you and I were like, okay, so where are the people out there that I need to connect with
yes,
to be stronger, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I thank you, Alana, for your leadership. So you're awesome.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. I think this is really important information, because especially in the US, you guys are definitely more oriented towards it's the free world, right? So there's a lot more businesses. I think businesses are at stake everywhere. And it's the beautiful thing about you, Andrew, is that you are online. So you can literally assist anybody in the entire world. So if anyone's struggling, this is something that, here are the things that our successful people do. It's not by accident, right? Every successful person has a coach.
Yeah.
Right? To
No,
help.
one of my friends posted something the other day, which he said was not every athlete has a coach, but all Olympians do.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. That's a really good one, actually. I like that.
So,
I just might use that.
Me too. I'm stealing this here, right? Thank you, Brody, for inspiring me here. But so the second part that's really important now is leadership.
Yes.
Right? You've got to lead. So role modeling is so important. But if you're a parent, your children, they don't always listen, but they will always observe you.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right? Your customers and your followers on Instagram and Facebook and wherever you go, or TikTok, they don't always get your message, but they always observe you.
Yeah.
Right? So role modeling is so important right now, and that's why they're keeping your spirit up and your mind active, and it's more important than anything else you can do, right? Because it leads into leadership.
Yeah.
And the second part of leadership right now is contribution.
Yes.
And let me give an example what that means in my world. So I work with a number of coaches, some of which you know. So two coaches in particular that I want to call out here. One is Angela Lauria, who you know, and she is my book coach. And another one is Brendan Bouchard. So, and when this happened, both of them reached out to their clients, and I'm a certified high performance coach. I'm certified by one of Brendan's companies, the High Performance Academy. But he reached out and said, look, for a crisis call, brought us together, said, this is what's happening, this is what you need to do. And by the way, I'm opening up for you my entire vault of resources. So for the next 3 months for free, so that you make it through.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I have monthly calls with you, and I do this, and that to support. Angela Lauria came and said, you know what? I know you're done with the book, and that was a year ago, but I have this academy here. I would like you, I want to give you some advice and share with you what I know. And she's doing this like almost every day in one way or the other, right? That's amazing. And then I have another organization that I work with, and I'm just by giving them my license fee, paying my license fees, they get about $10,000 a year from me. By doing nothing. I do all the work.
Yeah, you sure feel the value of that one, don't you?
I get a note from them saying, in contrast, I'm going to give a webinar on how to trust your gut in difficult times. And by the way, it costs $49.
Oh, right. Yeah, right?
this is the time now where the people that lead, I follow. Right?
Yes,
And I will follow them.
exactly.
Done here, I will keep on following them. The other person, I actually just my certification ran out, and I'm not renewing.
Right.
Because I follow leaders, right?
Exactly. You follow people that inspire you, that give
Yes.
you more value
Yes.
rather than less. Because I like that you said that with this $10,000 and I get nothing. It's an example of a company that's contracting, that's not stepping up to that next level. So, and you feel that right away. You feel that. Am I being taken care of?
Yes.
Or
exactly.
am I being taken advantage of?
Yes, exactly right. And so contributing is so much. It's so important. The mistake that you can make, and I made that in the beginning, is that you put others first. So you got to do this without injury to yourself.
Yeah.
And I had a reminder earlier this week when I was out with my son and he was riding the bike and he fell off, and he fell like on his face first. Like thankfully he had a helmet on, but his tire felt like those those burns from when you scrape it on
the road
asphalt.
rash, yeah.
Right? And so the face was bruised and all of that. We could hardly see the mouth, and and this is not a time now where you want to go to an emergency room, especially not with like open wounds, right? So I took care of him and so on, but then they started to get an infection. So I had to go to a doctor and get all the medication, all of that. So it took like a day, yes? Mm-hmm. But, and that reminded me that if I help everybody, my son will be very, very disappointed if I helped everybody, but at the cost of his well-being.
Right.
And that's the balance that you need to find, and it's not always as easy as we would like, because the conflicts that we always have, and that's what I had most of my clients with, is not between right and wrong, because I need to help and I need to be there for my son and my wife. Right. So this dilemma that we have is between two equally important choices, or three equally choices. Yeah.
It makes sense. I think you're bringing up some very good points here. As business owners, executives, right? You're constantly being pulled in the two directions. Grow my business, help my clients, be there for my family. And you're right, it's often lopsided. So when I'm working with them as well, it's often work, and not a lot of balance in a life situation. Just personal life, if they don't even have families, now we're talking personal life, or they don't devote time to family. So balance, thank you, balance. That is a good suggestion during this time. Keep the balance.
And then the dilemma is also, because you mentioned business owners, you may be in a situation right now where you need to make that decision between the right thing would be to keep everybody on board at full pay. On the other hand, if I did that, the whole company will go under, right? So, and those are not easy decisions to make. And everybody wants to be the good person right now. But that also requires you to make very, very tough decisions. And that's, now we come back to what we said earlier. That's why you also need to have a strong mastermind group or a group of friends that can help you through this as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've got to think long-term. I'm going to be able to help more people if I stay in business. Then trim a little bit right now and then give those jobs back to those people. But it's not an easy, right? Again, because anytime that we are stuck between two high-level priorities and you want to equally weigh it, you can't. One will have to go a little bit above, but that doesn't mean that's the whole time it's going to be one over the other. You're constantly through life moving, shifting around priorities.
Yes.
But it is a way to cope, like you said, and that's important.
When I gained like a lot of weight in the last 5 weeks, because I was like 14 hours every day sitting, not moving. And I'm one person who needs to see I'm moving my hands all the time because I need physical movement, right? So, and again, it's the choice between I need to support my clients, I need to still grow my business, and I need to keep myself healthy. And the dilemma is always like making the choice between three equally important
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. So back to that coping, right? We were talking about the coping to start, but I mean, it interweaves so much into how you lead as well. If you're coping well, you're going to be a better leader
yeah.
for yourself, your family, and your company.
Yes.
And that's why you started talking about that. So I appreciate that. And it's funny how we just kind of keep coming back to that. It is an important concept. That's why I'm saying it again.
And that's why, like every Thursday now, with my friend and resilience coach Paul, we coming out with that, with the Facebook Live on how to cope, how to lead, and how to grow.
Okay.
Right, and each week we give it a different concept, and it's long. It's an hour, and I know Facebook, the drop-off rate is after 4 minutes,
Oh,
but for everybody, right? So
right.
that's when you look at Facebook statistics. After 3 or 4 minutes, people stop watching.
Yeah.
But right now we come to the third thing that is important right now, which is growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything in life either grows or it dies.
Yes.
And you need to make that decision right now. Will I keep on growing or will I die?
Yeah.
And if you want to be inspired and you cannot invest an hour a week or a day, I invest an hour a day right now to learn something new, right?
Yeah.
To do something new. I'm doing right now, I hired a coach for my Facebook ads.
Nice.
Because I didn't want to pay another $100 or $200 on an online course. I said, I want a warm body guiding me.
That's
right. And little did I know that, how much work that includes, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, and every day I'm learning and I get feedback and I educate myself about the psychology on Facebook and ads and all of that. So whatever your learning need is, do it. We all have something that we knew a few months. I knew that I needed to do Facebook ads for the last year. Right. And I never really did it because I didn't have to. There's a lot of clients through referrals and other means, right?
Yeah.
And now I have different offerings. The offerings are differently structured, reflecting the financial realities of a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I would like to have more people. So the price point changes, the delivery changes.
Right.
So also the marketing changes, right?
That's right. Got it. Yeah. Which makes sense, right? You're pivoting, just like most of us are going to have to pivot, right? As business owners and executives. And you're moving with and growing rather than shrinking.
Yes. I see that with my younger son's school, all right? Drives me nuts. So we're like 5 weeks into this. There are still no daily classes, interactive classes on Zoom or any other platform. Right? Instead, we're getting like homework assignments. Where I actually wrote a letter back to the school. I said, no, if I signed up for free at the Khan Academy, yes, I get better instructions. My son gets better instructions than from you right now. What are your teachers doing? Right?
Yeah, now you have time to create the classes.
You have time, you can create it. All you need to do is, it doesn't even have to be like for 6 hours. Just do it for 2 hours a day. Right?
Yeah.
Teach, engage students.
Yeah.
Give it another example with my Taekwondo school my son goes to, right? So martial arts class is very difficult right now, right? So because it's physical, I'm a martial artist, so it's physical contact, right? So you have sweat and sometimes blood of the other person in your face, or you have your head on somebody's armpits, right? So nobody wants that right now, apart from the fact that they're closed anyway. But even after this is going to be highly unlikely that is going back to normal. So my Taekwondo, the Taekwondo school that my son goes to, they started with online classes. Right? My teacher, who's in Germany, they have online classes now, right? So where they're all together and they're doing their forms and all of that, punches and they sweat together, right?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, this all sucked.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, this is like so bad, I've done this for so long, I could do this better. Yeah. But 3 weeks into this, these classes are super fun, they're engaged, they're great. And like, tip to the head to the corner Taekwondo in Galway and the Wing Chun classes in Munich, and the people that I work with, they have done so well.
Yeah.
These are the ones that when this is all over, will continue to grow.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then my sister-in-law, they're part of, there's a judo class, right? All they got is a reminder that they needed to pay $60 for their class.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it's the value you give your clients, showing them that you care about not just them, but your business. This is what you're talking about. Grow.
You always grow, you change, you learn. And I give all of my clients right now permission to suck.
Yeah, I like that.
Because you will not look. I'm doing a group mastermind right now, right? And I knew for months that I needed to do this. Yes, and I wanted to initially roll this out in May and plan, but I did that at the end of March, right?
Gotcha.
And I guarantee you, if I look at the first group classes in a year from now, I would give me a face palm and say, I don't understand how everybody paid for this, but the fact is that the people that attended got some value.
Yes, that's
Every time I do a group class, I try something else, and it becomes better.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Exactly. That's key. It gets better.
Now is the time to suck.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, exactly. People are going to be more forgiving now. That's right. That's right. And it's what you're talking about is get out of that comfort zone for at least 1 hour a day. And it's very interesting, as a psychologist, what that allows you to do is actually get more cognitive flexibility. And that's very, very important, because when times like these hit, you're okay. You're actually going to feel like I can cope and get through this. It's just one more thing, Last week I went rock climbing for an hour and I've never done that. So you're constantly challenging yourself. And because of doing that, your brain's actually growing. New neurons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're rewiring your brain by continually challenging and growing. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I don't know if I'm going to make that out of life, right? So we don't know how this is going to evolve. I have type 1 diabetes, right? So I'm just like super focused on keeping my blood sugar levels below pre-diabetic range, right? And all of that. But I know, I'm over 50, I'm a man, and I have type 1 diabetes. I have everything working against me right now.
Right.
So if I get it, chances are that it's going to be a rough ride.
Right. Yeah.
That can happen anyway, right?
Yes, that's right.
If this is right now, I'm doing well, but will I be able to sustain that for another 6 months or 9 months? I don't know. Yeah. The more people get unemployed and how the psychology changes and all of that.
Right.
What I do know is that with a lousy mindset, it's going to be, but my chances will definitely be lower.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah, exactly. And why worry about the future? Do what you can now. Take those steps, continue to cope, take care of yourself every day. Continue leading your people, giving value to your community, to your clients, to the world, to your family, to yourself. And here you are. That's your best shot forward. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you need to be, all of you, if you're married, right, or you're living with somebody, this is the time where you need to be that acknowledgement beast, where you tell them why you love them, how they love them, how you adore them, right? So how happy you are, right? So you need to be that person. This is not the time to withdraw, right?
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
This is now, if you have kids, hug them 5 times more, right?
Yeah.
So now is the time to do this. And if you go bankrupt and maybe you die, at least you've done it with, as the best person it could have been, and you will have inspired everybody, that you leave behind for decades to come.
Yes. That's right. And that's worst case scenario, okay? But best case scenario, here you are pivoting.
I have to say, either way, keep your mind up, you stay strong and resilient, right? So you
right.
continue to lead and you grow.
Yeah.
The outcome is always better.
Always. Always. And sometimes, like you said, particularly when we are pivoting and we're growing and learning, it feels like a stretch. But like you said, just throw yourself into it. You can do this. And it was interesting, but I remember that mindset shifting for me when I just went, well, I could just not video, and I could, get the right camera and the right lighting and there's so many things, right, that was on my list, or I could just get out of it right now and do it. And I did it. It was amazing, actually. It was amazing. The freedom that it gave me to just let go of perfection and just get going and do it.
Yeah.
And serve the people that I'm serving. And so it's amazing, actually, like you said, that growth that comes from that you never would have if this wasn't happening right now. I may not have done this, right? Pushed myself to this degree. So it's amazing. The lessons you're teaching right now, these tips and tricks are actually very, very important. And I'm just going to so I just want to ask you, is there anything more you wanted to add before I start to sort of wrap up and just kind of summarize some of the important elements that you've talked about?
No, I just wanted to tell you a story how proud I am of myself, because I did my first COVID-19 haircut on my son. And I was balancing things, and my wife was standing next to me and she was like, oh God. And it turned out actually to be not so bad. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I was standing there thinking, I don't totally suck.
That's right.
Right. So again, you have the permission to suck.
Yes, that's right. That's awesome. I have to say, I don't know, did you get a haircut in COVID times yet?
I need an urgent haircut. My hair has never been so long.
Right, because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. But it looks good. Your hair actually looks good. And I was just going to ask you, did you cut it, or
there are no buzz cutters available?
Yes.
In Ireland right now. I was able to get one yesterday on Amazon.
Oh,
yesterday.
Nice. Yeah.
That is going to be delivered on April 27th, which is 10 days from now.
Yay! And fingers crossed it is that long, right? Not longer. I know you're going like, oh, this is too long already. See, I have no problems with that long hair. I could just keep growing it. It's all good.
Well, but they're women, for example, around their late 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Now because their gray hair comes out,
Yeah, exactly.
So they're thinking right now, you know what? Now that I'm in physical isolation anyway, maybe now is the time to let it grow out.
Let it go. Right. Yeah. Relax and just get into it. That's awesome.
So I'm sure we will see those for women, those haircuts where like it's gray here and then whatever.
Yeah, the color.
And I cannot even wait for that, because in 2 years from now, we will look back at those pictures and we will be proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll be proud how we conducted ourselves, right? Yeah. The decisions that we made, the courage that we showed, how we coped, how we led, how we, grew, and developed out of that. So whatever you look like, my son's haircut, I took a picture, and I know like 2 years from now, we will be sitting around the table and laugh about it, and maybe even he will tell that to his grandchildren.
That's right, exactly.
So it's cool,
It is, exactly. I love that. I love that. We're constantly growing, right? Trying something different. That's it. I wanted to ask you actually before I summarized, you did briefly mention you had a mastermind. Can you tell us more about it so that people, if they wanted to join, we will put stuff about it in the post so that way they can go directly and click and whatnot. So, but could you just talk about it a little bit now?
Yeah, so you can join the mastermind by going to recreateyourself.site. Yeah, recreateyourself.site. Okay. You can join the mastermind right now for free. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to get is long-term is you get group coaching on certified high-performance coaching, which is the highest rated coaching program in the world, with a satisfaction rate of about, I think, like 96%, which is in an industry where the average satisfaction rate is around 50. It's huge.
Yeah.
Right? So you can join this right now for free for 2 weeks and try it out for 2 weeks. And if you don't like it, you just cancel and then yeah. But you can also, when you join right now, you get immediate access to a course on how to find your special personal power. Huge, because that enables you to grow.
Yeah.
Right? Later on, what you need to do. You'll get a course on how to develop your own coaching and training online training program in 24 hours.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And you get a course on sales breakthrough, so how to overcome the fear of selling. So when you join today for $0, right, you get access to that right away, and at least you get the 3 training courses immediately for free.
Yeah.
You get access to the last 3 recordings of the Mastermind.
Yeah.
And if you join, it's 2 weeks, so you have at least 1, if not 2, opportunities to join the Mastermind live.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you just stay on.
Yeah.
And got to pay for it, though, right? So
of course.
now you know what you get.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
if you say no,
yeah,
I have everything that I want. I do this right now. I've never done this before. To open this for 2 weeks, because I want the people that I can help give all of this access to all of that, and those who maintain a growth mentality, they will join.
Yeah.
And some will say, no, I have enough right now. There's enough work for me for the next 3 months. Awesome. As long as you try and suck.
Try. Just try. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the Mastermind. You can join it. And it's also the lowest I've ever priced it. It was originally priced at $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm playing with it, but you will get it for like a fraction of it right now. So, and I will not bump up the price when I bump up the price later on. But that's you get the highest certified, highest rated coaching program. I know a lot of advertising here, right? And you get the 3 online courses. Now I shut up.
But it's very, very important, because just how to get your business running online, invaluable. Because if you don't actually know, and within 24 hours, I mean, my God, that's a dream send. You don't have to, that's the best about coaches. You don't have to figure it out yourself. There are people who already figured it out. So why go through the growing pain to reinvent the wheel when you can do it in a fraction of the cost, fraction of the time? And when I think about it now, as a psychologist, having built that business, building the coaching business, I just went, oh no, not doing it like I did before. I'm going to get as much help as I can in these various areas that I need help in, because it is not worth the 18-hour days that I worked for so long, the not taking a salary, right? The biggest mistake that we make as entrepreneurs, right, is that we just work in our business, but we don't actually take a salary right away, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
and let
so
me
many
tell you a
things.
story.
Pardon me?
Let's give me a story how this works out, right? So I have one client who was a stitcher, like a dressmaker, used to be a dressmaker for Madonna's Madame X tour and Hamilton. Yes. Yeah. And of course, none of that is happening right now, right? So what she thought was like, a good, safe thing to do right now, overnight disappeared. And within a week, I've worked with her for a while, and she always said, Andrew, the world needs to learn how to sew, right? Yeah. So but do a class on sewing. Like, how many people now don't know what to do at home when they have old sewing machine somewhere, right? Yeah. So she started her YouTube channel, right? Yeah. And then that YouTube channel didn't, as you know, YouTube is an amazing channel, but an amazing medium. But to build like a profitable channel is a long time. It takes a long time. Yeah. It's not like a Facebook group or so. You need to really work hard for a long, long time. Yeah. So she realized that really fast. And then she said, you know what? I'm going to make this fun for people. And I'm going to teach them how to put together shopping bags, like really nice looking sturdy shopping bags out of those cheap plastic bags that I have from the supermarket. Right. So they learn how to sew, it's fun and so on. And now she's sewing face masks, right? Because she's like, Andrew, I still need to pay my bills. I didn't want to do this, but people want it, people need it, and then pivoting. All started out with the commitment to allow yourself to suck, and you become better. And this woman, within a few weeks, went from doing okay-ish to just being being amazing.
Yeah.
But you gotta start. So do something, right? Do something. And if you go join that mastermind, you get like the 3 courses right away.
Yeah.
Right away to get everything you need to get started. Each course is a course that people in one-on-one coaching in the past paid $3,500 for.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes, a little bit shorter, a little bit more contracted, but all the key learnings are in there that you can implement right away.
Yeah.
So do it. It's free.
Yeah, it's free. Exactly. You got no risk right now, so might as well try. So thank you for that. We'll post that under the video, and you can always comment if people are commenting on that. So wonderful. So just to then summarize what we talked about, the key elements of what you talked about is the first step is ground yourself and do some coping. Do things you enjoy, take care of your physical health, create a routine for yourself. There are so many things you talked about. I'm not going to go over it too much, but coping is the first major point that you talked about. And then the next one is leading. So you need to lead by example, leading yourself, leading your family, your children, leading your business. And leading might mean quitting. It might mean letting some people go right now, getting a loan for your company for a what if. So, and looking at your business in advance, what's going to happen in the next 6 months. If worst case scenario financially happens, how far could I take this, right? Maybe a year ahead, and just projecting a little bit rather than constricting. And so coping, leading, and then growing is the last one. Get out of that comfort zone, flex a little, figure out a way to grow and learn. And for you, that was Facebook, and I can see that was a huge feat, but just know you don't have to grow alone. You can have a coach to help you through this. And Andrew's an executive coach, certainly. He's got this wonderful free offering, and why not take advantage? I love it because it gives them the ability to actually check it out and see, is Andrew someone I could work with? And that's the taste of it, where you don't really get that. You're typically, when you offer programs, it's like, here you go, you get to purchase the program. And the thing about coaching is people don't realize this is when people buy, they're sort of in the moment very motivated to buy, but then life gets in the way and they don't maybe complete it or even start it. I don't know if you've been there. I certainly have, where I'm like, oh yeah, I like this and this is good. And then I have it still, but I haven't actually done anything with it. And that's not where you want to be. You want value for the money. Another thing that coaches do is get you to come back and continually, they're here to help you actually complete it. So it's not just about offering what we can offer, because there are other people who offer stuff too. However, the benefit of the coaching, and in this way, you get a free taste of what Andrew's coaching is like. And so then you can absolutely succeed. That's the point, is to succeed. You heard them in, right?
Exactly.
And that's important. So that, I hope I did it justice with the summary. And thank you so much, Andrew, for spending some time with us and just helping our executives and business owners essentially succeed and thrive so they're not contracting during this time. And that mindset is super important so that they don't dip into that and continue in a downward spiral, so that they rebound. And they'll rebound higher than they were before if they continue to take these every single day, these little steps of just mindset first and foremost. So thank you so much, Andrew. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you so much. And you stay amazing, yes?
Thank you. You too.